Hi there. If I were to ask you what a product or service means to you, how would you explain it? Now, for me, if I were to explain it, it might actually be different from what you would explain. And if you were to explain it as well, it might also be different from what I would explain. But of course, I feel like there would be similarities in what we might say that we're looking out for in products or services. Now, for me, a product or a service is something that actually satisfies my wants or my need. Now, in the world of marketing, a product and service is not just a physical item. Now, it is a whole experience. Now, talking about the experience, you're talking about quality, you're talking about branding, you're talking about packaging, you're talking about costs. And if we were to talk about some of these points, of course, as a consumer, the quality of a product would actually attract me. But before that attracts me, I would say that the branding, let's say the ads, and then the packaging as well. When I see it, probably I go into a store and I see maybe something I like on a shelf and I pick it up. It might just be the packaging attracting me to it. Another thing that I would say that I would look out for in a product would be the pricing. That is also very, very important. And why is that? Of course, every customer is looking for something pocket friendly, something you don't have to break the bank over, and you always want to get like the best price for everything. So that is also very, very important for me. Now, another one would be functionality. Functionality is so important. I mean, functionality and durability, they go hand in hand, because why would you get a product today? It was advertised to you that it's going to work for this long, this is how long you would get the best of this product for, and you're using it for, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, or thereabouts, and it's not giving you the results you're looking for. So that's another thing that customers or consumers are looking out for in products and services. Now, another thing I would say that is also very key for me would be customer support. Very, very important. Now, there are some brands I won't mention, but there are some brands that I know in Nigeria that you can never reach out to complain about what is going on with probably the service or the product that you got from them, and you would get something positive from them. And I mean, you would see on X the way people call out brands, you will see on Instagram the way people call out brands. But for me as a customer, that is also very, very important for me. The kind of customer support that I get, it gives a whole new experience for me. And that's why I would circle back to that question that I asked you when I started on the show today. If I were to ask you as a consumer or a customer what a product or a service means to you, how would you explain it? Now, what if you were able to get a scoop of what your favorite brands carry? And of course, how you view them as a consumer, how they influence your choice, your decision. What if you were able to get a scoop on that? Well, welcome to Analytics by Sluice, where your choices meet honest insight. Of course, you would know that I am new on the show, and that's because I would be your host, and you can call me your analyst for the season 2. My name is Anike, and it's so good to have you join me on the show today. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does sluice mean, and what exactly are they analyzing? Now, for the word sluice, let me let you in on a secret. The first time that I heard the word, I was, also wondering, what exactly does sluice mean? And since I'm here, of course, I'll give you the meaning free of charge. Now, sluice is a channel that controls and directs. Picture this: in a world where brands are looking for products to sell, they're looking for problems to solve. And consumers as well are looking for, brands that would actually solve the problems of their want or their needs. How about you gain insight on some of these things? Now, this is where Sluice comes in. Now, Sluice helps you find a common ground. We are your eyes in the ever evolving market. Now, on this show, one of the things that we would be doing would be to analyze some of the insights that we gather with verified data. But where are we getting this data from now? One of the platforms on Analytics by Sluice would be our Vox Pop. So we would have our Vox Pop team. It could be on a street close to you, or it could be on your street, sampling opinions of everyday people on what they feel about products or what they feel about services. Now we sample opinions from the street after we get it, of course, from you, and we bring it together with verified data, of course, from trusted sources. So, how does this help you as a consumer? You might think. Now, it is good for you to know what works for you. Of course, I mentioned it earlier that my choice might actually not be your choice. And of course, sometimes we might actually have similarities. And on this platform, it would be for us to enlighten you and also encourage you on the most economical and, of course, personal sustainable choices for you. Now, for brands, it would be to also be able to actually influence products, to influence services, because you are able to work with these data that you get on this platform. You know what your customers are thinking about, some of the things that they are yearning for, and how they want you to serve them better. Now, some of the things that we'll be talking about on this particular show in this particular season would be things like why some foreign brands are doing well in Nigeria, and you go abroad, you don't find, Nigerian brands doing that good. Now, another thing that we would also be talking about would be the rise of fintech, of course, in Nigeria, and also the payment system that is also included. Now, something else you should be looking out for in the show for this season would be the role of quality and consistency in, consumer loyalty, how it affects consumer loyalty. Are Nigerian brands actually doing enough? That's another thing that we'll be looking at on this show. Now, all of these and more are things you should be expecting this season on Analytics by Sluice. So, before I wrap up, I would like to ask you another question. I know that I started with a question, but I am going to end with another question. Why do you think that your favorite brand is your ride or die? What do you think influences your choices? Well, this is Analytics by Sluice, where we dig into the world of smart choices. Of course, I am your host, or you can call me your analyst, Anike. Bye.